Greetings, loyal subscribers and honoured guests, and welcome to a brand new episode of First Look Fridays, which is something I haven't done for a while. In this episode, I'm going to be looking at a game called Jotunheim, Hordes of Hell, which is been out for a little while, but it's still in early access. So we're going to see what sort of stuff is in the current version of the game, and I'll talk about the stuff that they've got planned for the full release, and beyond that. The capture that you're seeing now was from my Steam Deck, so it'll give you a good indication of how the game performs on there. Of course, if you're playing it on a desktop PC, then you can play it at a much higher resolution and frame rate, but it still looks pretty decent in my opinion when played on the Steam Deck through a dock, and it works very well as a portable game as well, with the frame rate locked at about 45 and the TDP turned down to about 10. There are a few stutters when the game gets really hectic, which you might see as we get further into this run. I'm just going to show one run. I think this might have been my first successful run. But anyway, what is Jotunheim Hordes of Hell? Well, it's yet another in the increasingly busy genre of survivors type game, which I'm not sure if it actually began with Vampire Survivors, but that's definitely the game that has made this mainstream and really popular. And now there's dozens of these, and more coming out all the time. And what sort of defines that genre is the fact that you're in a sort of enclosed space. Well, there can be quite a big space actually, but you're in one map running around, and you don't typically have any control over your firing. So your skills auto fire every so often, and automatically target enemies. It was that way, I believe, because it was originally designed for mobile phones. Vampire Survivors was, so you could play it sort of just with one hand moving around and not have to worry about holding on with both hands and to aim. So that's kind of a legacy thing that these Survivors games have in common, but not necessarily essential. Some games give you the opportunity or the ability to turn on manual aiming, and then it becomes more like a twin-stick shooter. But what differentiates these games from a twin-stick shooter is the auto-aiming stuff. So I tend to leave it on, and I don't mind it actually. It's can be a little bit sort of mindless, but it's more about your skill in choosing the correct sort of build from the skills that you're offered, and then sort of dodging and weaving through all the hordes of enemies successfully. Not every run will end in success. In fact, a lot of them will end in death, but you should be sort of progressing a little bit with each run anyway, so it does have a lot in common with roguelites as well. So in this game, your main sort of progression currency is gold. It's dropped randomly by enemies, and it's also given as quest rewards. And so yeah, I'll get onto quests now, because that's another thing that sets this game apart from other survivors type games. In a given run, you're given out various quests. On the easy mode, you only have one quest to choose from at a time, but then as you increase the difficulty to medium, hard, insane, and so on, you'll be given a choice of quests, and some of them will be easier or harder than others, but the harder ones will give you more gold as a result normally. So it's a bit of a risk-reward thing, where if you go for the harder quest, they include things like collecting horns, which I'm doing right now, and also involve things like resurrecting skeletons of dead jarls or so on, and slaying them. So yeah, there's all sorts of different things, and once you've completed a set number of quests, I think it's 3 for easy or 4 for medium and so on, then you're allowed to complete the ritual which summons the Jotun, which is the big boss at the end of the run. So actually you can see I'm being given a choice there. I could either summon chieftains, dead chieftains, or dead jarls. They're quite similar tasks really, but one's just slightly harder. So I think I went for the chieftains because this is still pretty early in my playthroughs of this game. I think it was only my 3rd run maybe, so I wasn't feeling terribly confident about taking on the harder quests just yet. So I stuck with the easier option, so another thing that this game does a little differently from others is you choose from both character classes and then gods to support you. And initially I think there's 3 character classes unlocked. The Seeress, which you can see I'm controlling now, which is basically a magic user, and then there's more of a standard barbarian and a ranged bow and arrow character, and then you unlock a sort of flame cultist. I can't remember their proper name, but you unlock them, and then in terms of gods, there's Freya, there's Thor, and then you unlock Odin and Skadi, and I believe there's another one, but I can't remember off the top of my head. And then you choose a map. So this is Jotunheim, I think. I can't remember now, but there's all the different regions of from Norse mythology. So there's Muspelheim, Svartalheim, and so on. I think only 3 of the realms are playable at the moment, with another 2 planned in future updates. And there's more character classes and gods planned as well as time goes on. And that's, I think, the roadmap for development just covers the early access period for now, but these sort of games continue to get updates long past their initial 1.0 release date, so I expect you can see we'll see updates for years to come as long as the game's fairly successful. I think it's already proving pretty popular and reviewing well. I'm close to death here. I'm not sure if this run's about to end. If it does, I'll it might be an opportunity for me to show you the upgrade tree. Yeah, I think this might actually. Yeah, this one has ended in failure. So you can see I didn't beat that run. So it's given me the opportunity to turn on the Brave Chicken modifier, which makes it easier, but means you get less rewards. So let's see if I go into the upgrade tree now. Like I said, the key to progressing is gold. So you can see there's different trees for all the classes and the gods here, and I'm focusing mainly on the Seeress. So you first have to buy skill points with gold, and then you can unlock skills here. So I've bought Draining Touch, which is a permanent passive, which slowly drains energy from enemies just from being close by. So I'm going to start another run. I think as that run wasn't successful, I'll let it do another one, but I might skip further into the run. In fact, I am going to do that. I think I'd stick with the Seeress. Yes. So let's just move ahead a little bit. I think this was more successful. This might have been the first run that I beat it. I can't remember, to be honest. So this initial map isn't terribly difficult. To be honest with you, it didn't take me too long just focusing on levelling up the Seeress. before I had beaten all 3 of the maps that are there currently, at least on medium. I still haven't beaten them on hard yet. That takes a bit of doing, but and now I've maxed out the Ceres, although I haven't maxed out the gods yet. So I'm focusing mainly on Thor, but with the gods, really any of their abilities can come up as an option randomly. So you maybe focusing on one god isn't such a good idea. Really, you should sort of level up a few of them, because you can see Thor didn't come up as an option this time. So the other gods are weaker. So I think I shall start leveling up other gods more as well. You can see one of them was Loki as well, who I forgot was an option, but yeah, he's in there too. So actually, if you haven't played a Survivors game, basically what you do is you run around slaying enemies automatically, like I said, and collecting the experience orbs. You don't get experience automatically per se. You have to sort of collect these orbs and fill up your bar, and then every time you do, you're presented with a choice of 3 skills, and you choose from one of those, and if the same skill comes up again later, you can power it up even further, and you have the option of re-rolling the options if you don't like any of the skills offered to you, and you can buy more re-rolls sometimes in the shop or with gold instead of upgrades if you think you might need re-rolls. I always forget I can re-roll, to be honest with you, or just don't do it. It's more of a sort of advanced technique, and you only get so many of them. And you can also banish skills so that they never come up again, which is also something I forget to do. Sometimes these mini bosses with bars over their heads appear, and slaying them makes them drop a chest, and if you open the chest you get a more worthwhile reward as an option. Sometimes it's a permanent buff, sometimes it's a bunch of gold all at once. And in terms of managing your health, you get food dropped sometimes on the field, which you can eat and heal yourself, or sometimes some of the healing abilities give you healing properties. Like there's one where each time you collect some gold you're healed a little bit, or others where slaying monsters heals you. So here I've got 4 options you could see, and one of them was gold discs for Freya, and I think that's now on level 3. So this run I was focusing on Freya skills, as that was kind of the first god that came up. So I think it does benefit you to stick with one god mainly if it's an option, because their skills work better in tandem with each other. But sometimes, like I say, it won't offer you the same god that you want, or unless you re-roll and get them. But even then, luck might not be on your side, and it still might come up even if you re-roll. So yeah, you need to be sort of flexible with these games. And although in a lot of ways these are sort of time killer games that just sort of while away half an hour or so, they are a lot of fun, and I don't think any of these has quite managed to match Vampire Survivors in terms of the sort of the way that skills interact with each other and power each other up and synergize with each other. I haven't seen another game that really does that as well as Vampire Survivors, but there's been some decent attempts. How long have we got in the run? 7 minutes and 40 seconds. Now we've skipped on ahead a little bit. Oh, actually I died. I thought that was the run where I beat it. So let's skip into the next one. Somewhere along the line is a run where I actually win it, but I don't think it's going to be this time one. Anyway, maybe I didn't capture a run where I won, which was unfortunate. I thought I had, but anyway, I can't show you the big boss in this video, but you'll just have to take my word for it. They're huge, great hulking bosses that usually have hordes of enemies helping them out. If you're interested in picking up a copy of the game for yourself, then yeah, it's available now on Steam, and as I say, works really well on Steam Deck. I expect once it hits a full release, we might well see it on consoles as well. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, then leave me a like. Hopefully I'll find some time to show you some more games that I've been playing, and I also have plans for some scripted videos coming up soon. But anyway, see you on the next one, and in the meantime, take care.